there lived a man in La Mancha, a village in Spain. He read about knights most of the time. He read about their courageous and incredible adventures. He was totally absorbed in those stories and he even forgot to eat or sleep. After spending many years reading lots of adventurous stories about knights and squires, Don Quixote imagined himself as a knight. After that, he wanted a squire so that both of them can go on adventurous journeys. Don Quixote meets a person called Sancho Panza, a peasant in the same village, and convinced him to be his squire. He even promised an island to him if he would remain faithful to him throughout their journeys. Sancho Panza immediately accepted him as his master. They both set out on a journey. On their way, they saw many windmills. When Don Quixote saw a windmill, his eyes sparkled. He cautioned, "Look, Sancho, how dare that hideous ogre block our path?" Sancho asked, "What? An ogre? Where, master?" Don Quixote pointed out. "Right there. Don't you see that awful creature waving its four arms?" Sancho replied, "Master, that is nothing. It is just a windmill." Don Quixote ranted, "I tell you, these are ogres, and if you are afraid, go aside and say your prayers while I engage them in combat." In spite of Sancho's warning, Don Quixote gets ready to fight against the windmill. According to Quixote's perception, it was not a windmill, it was a dangerous ogre. So he got ready to attack it. Don Quixote sped up towards the windmill, shouting, "Ah, ready to face my spear, you ogre!" He, along with his horse, Rocinante, galloped towards the windmill. He charged the windmill and collided with it and fell down. Sancho Panza rushed to the rescue of his master. He tiredly asked, "Are you alright, master? I warned you that it is just a windmill, didn't I?" Even now, Don Quixote was optimistic. He said, "Look, Sancho, the ogre is more seriously wounded than I am." Actually, the windmill was perfectly fine. Sancho did his best to dissuade him from doing anything further recklessly. He said, "Oh, you are absolutely right. You are a great knight indeed, and you have defeated the fearsome windmill." Quixote boasted, "Listen to me, Sancho. Someday people will write of our great exploits. Our names will live on in the memories of generations to come. But we must prove worthy of that honor by vanquishing villains and upholding justice. Do you understand?" Sancho politely said, "Yes, master." Now they happened to pass a farmland. Seeing a thick cloud of dust there, Don told him that it was undoubtedly an extremely big army marching towards them. Don even started naming the leaders and knights in each army. He also told the nations they belonged to. But Sancho could see only a big cloud of dust. He confusedly said, "But sir, not a single one of the knights and giants are there." Don Quixote was surprised. He questioned, "How now?" "At least you must hear the neighing of the horses, the sound of the trumpets, and the rattling of the drums." "I hear nothing but the bleating of many sheep and lambs," said Sancho. Don told, "Your fears prevent you from hearing or seeing. Okay, if you don't want to fight, stand aside and I will go alone." Sancho pleaded. Hold on, sir. Come back. I entreat. What madness is this? They are verily but sheep and lambs. Even now, Sancho's caution goes in vain. Don Quixote rushes towards the sheep herd, thinking that he is fighting against an army. As soon as Don hit the herd, it ran helter-skelter in all directions. On seeing this, the shepherds got angry. They rushed towards the herd with stones. The shepherds pelted the stones at Don Quixote and he fell onto the ground wounded. On seeing this, Sancho rushed to the rescue of his master. As usual, Don Quixote boasted, "Ha ha ha! Did you see those cowards run? They are right to fear Don Quixote." The local peasants all thought that Don Quixote was crazy, so they laughed and taunted at him as he passed. One pointed out, "Look, it is Don Quixote, the madman." Another peasant asked, "Did you finally get those evil sheep? Ha ha ha." And the last one asked him, "What kind of beast did you defeat this time?" Ha ha ha. Don Quixote did not understand and thought that the people were cheering for him. Quixote proudly said, "Sancho, look, see how the people welcome us. They must have heard of our great deeds." Sancho couldn't bear it. He countered, "Oh no, master, listen very carefully. They are not welcoming us. They are mocking at you." Quixote still stood firm on his stance. He innocently told, "Sancho, Sancho, when will you see the truth?" Now Sancho got mad and said, "Enough is enough. Please, master." Quixote too agreed to him and stopped countering, but he insisted that they need more adventures, for which Sancho nodded his head and said, "Yes, master, we need more adventures." Don Quixote returned to his estate. He thought over all his past adventures. Then he realized that all his adventures were just a product of his imagination. He decided not to embarrass himself by going on any adventures thereafter. Instead, he made sure that his house was always filled with children. He told them the most fantastic stories about knights, squires, and their quests. They lived happily together and carried out many more adventures in their imagination.